Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's the first time you are visiting. So today I'm making a video all about the fragrances that myself and my husband wore on our wedding days. And yes, I'm saying days because we had a legal registry office wedding, and then around 10 days later we had a big wedding. So we had 2 fragrances each. And I have to say, the most asked question over the last few months is, what fragrance are you going to be wearing on your wedding day? And I have kept it to myself for the longest time, and I can finally share the fragrances that I picked for my wedding day. And there was so much pressure for me to pick the correct scent. I'm sure, as you can imagine, as a fragrance collector and lover, I wanted to get the fragrances just right. So, if you want to hear all about the 2 fragrances that I picked for my wedding days and the 2 fragrances James picked for our wedding day, then please do keep on watching. But before we get started on the video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel if you do not already. It really helps me out, and it would be a pleasure to have you as part of this community. Now that's out of the way, let's get started on the fragrances. So I know you're probably wondering what fragrances I picked as a priority, so I will start on my fragrances, but please do stick around to find out James's wedding fragrances too, because I actually picked his fragrance for the big ceremony as per his request, and it was a very sentimental pick. I'm very happy with my choice, and there's a little bit of a story time around that one too. So the first fragrance might be a little bit unexpected. It was our legal registry office wedding. We decided reasonably last minute, I would say 3 months out from the wedding, that we wanted to have an unofficial celebrant for our big day. James's sister actually married us on our big wedding day, which meant we had to legally get married before that ceremony. So for our very small, and I will say very small, registry office wedding, I picked Maison Francis Kurkdijan's Gentle Fluidity Gold. Now, I absolutely adore this fragrance. I've included it in so many videos. I think it's signature scent worthy. It's absolutely beautiful. And I decided to pick Gentle Fluidity Gold because it was just so effortless. It's a fragrance that I know that I will have forever in my collection. I find it very inoffensive. I find it elegant, ethereal, and I think it makes a really gorgeous bridal scent personally. Now, I've mentioned this before, I am a big sufferer of migraines, and in the lead up to the wedding, unfortunately, I have been suffering quite a lot. So I also wanted to pick a fragrance that was not going to set off my migraines. Now, this fragrance is gorgeous. It's not just because it doesn't set off my migraine, but I wanted to give you a little bit of a background story on it too. But yeah, it's just such a beautiful, easygoing, elegant, effortless, kind of aromatic vanilla. It's got a little bit of juniper in here too. There's not much more that I can say than that. I'm very happy with my choice. I feel like it fit the vibe very well because it was quite an informal day. Hopefully I can add some pictures to the screen too. It wasn't like I wasn't wearing a dress. It was very informal, as I mentioned. And yeah, I'm super happy because I really do adore a Gentle Fluidity Gold. It's just a very lovely fragrance. So my legal ceremony wedding fragrance was Maison Francis Kurkdijan's Gentle Fluidity Gold. Next up, we have my big wedding ceremony fragrance, and I went back and forth for so many months on this one. I was creating shortlists, and this fragrance stayed in all of my shortlists, so that was a good thing already. Plus, this fragrance is one that I just absolutely adore. It feels very me when I wear it, and that was what was most important For me, when picking my fragrance, I wanted it to feel like part of me. I didn't want to pick something kind of random that I wasn't absolutely in love with. And what I will do is I will tell you some of the other shortlist fragrances that I had, because it might be quite helpful to you. Firstly, please quickly pause the video and drop a comment below and let me know which fragrance you think that I picked for my wedding day, or which fragrance you think would have suited me on my wedding day. Now that is out of the way, let me share my fragrance choice, and it was none other than ex Nihilo's Fleur Narcotique. Now I have two bottles here. This is a new bottle. This is my old bottle, but I will share the new bottle. I don't think many of you will be surprised at my choice here. I absolutely adore Fleur Narcotique by ex Nihilo. This one just feels very me when I wear it. I'm absolutely in love with this fragrance. I think it is feminine. I think it is elegant, it's floral, it's pretty, it is all of the above. And every time I wear this fragrance, it does not disappoint me. And it absolutely lasts ages on me. I know some people struggle with the longevity of Fleur Narcotique, but I am not one of those people. So you're probably wondering why I have two bottles of Fleur Narcotique. So I purchased this 50ml size bottle, and I've been wearing and loving it ever since. And ex Nihilo kindly gifted me Fleur Narcotique for my wedding. And we were talking a little bit before the wedding, not about the wedding in specific, but about a potential collaboration. And I mentioned that I was thinking about wearing Fleur Narcotique for my wedding, and that is when they offered to send me a brand new bottle. So thank you so much to ex Nihilo for sending me a bottle for my wedding. I would have worn it regardless because I already owned a bottle that I purchased myself, but I just wanted to throw this out there. It was a very, very kind gift from the brand. But as you probably already know, I adore Fleur Narcotique. Now, I was deciding between Fleur Narcotique and Fleur Narcotique Extrait, but for me personally, I felt this one suited me and my vibe a little bit better. And yeah, I just love everything about this. It's a floral scent, but peony is at the heart. And the thing that I like most about this is there is a little bit of oak moss in the base that just gives it a slightly unique touch. This will always remind me of my wedding day now, which makes me so, so happy. And the fact that I have a big bottle and a smaller bottle, so it's easy to travel. I am so happy that I picked this one. As I've already mentioned, it made me feel great on the day. And I feel like it suited our wedding vibe really well, which was another consideration for me when picking a fragrance. So the wedding was almost garden vibes. It was an outdoor wedding. In the UK, we actually had beautiful weather. It was very, very hot. And it was an outdoor garden with a big orangery. And there was lots of flowers around. So I feel like Fleur Narcotique absolutely fitted the vibe so well. And I am so pleased that I picked this fragrance. Please do let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I wonder if anyone guessed this right. I think a few of you might have, because it is definitely one of my favorite fragrances. I mention it all the time. But yeah, Fleur Narcotique by ex Nihilo was my wedding fragrance of the day. And I told you I would mention a couple of the other fragrances that I was considering for my wedding day. I was also considering Xerjoff's Dama Bianca, Galland's Angelique Noir, and Fleury's One Umbrella for Two. They were the other main contenders for my wedding, and it could have gone either way, as in I could have worn some of those fragrances on the legal ceremony or the big ceremony. But I am extremely happy with my choices, but I thought I would also let you know some of my alternative choices just in case it helps you out. So let's move on to the fragrances that James wore on both of the wedding days. So first up, for the legal registry office ceremony, James picked Byredo's Bal D'Afrique. And I think this was such a great choice for him because I love it when he wears this first and foremost, because it's such an uplifting and bright fragrance. It's very inoffensive, it's very zesty, and our legal registry office wedding was also on a very nice day. So this one just shone, it wasn't too heavy, and it was just a fun, uplifting and easygoing fragrance. We both wear Bal D'Afrique and we both love it. So yeah, he picked this one himself and I think it was a fantastic choice for the day. Next up, we have James's fragrance of the day for the big wedding. And he actually asked me to pick his fragrance. And I felt so much pressure to do this because I didn't want to get it wrong. I wanted it to be something that he loved, but I also wanted it to be something that I loved too. And it was very difficult. I don't know if any of you remember, but I actually put out an Instagram poll asking for your recommendations for both men and women. And I got some amazing recommendations, but I have to give a big shout out to Demi Rawling because she sent me an incredible list of male and female fragrances. And this fragrance was on the male list. And it just struck a chord with me. And I went back to her and I was like, oh my gosh, you've just reminded me of the fragrance that I've been wanting to buy James for the longest time. And it felt like the stars had aligned, the universe had spoken. And that little conversation with Demi just reminded me of something so special. And there is a little bit of a story time behind this fragrance. I'm going to try not to get emotional about it. Let me tell you what the fragrance is first, and then I will explain. So the fragrance that I bought for James for our wedding day and the fragrance that he wore is from Parfums de Marly, and it is Carlisle. And I have been meaning to buy James this fragrance for quite some time. I wanted to buy him it late last year, but I didn't end up doing so. Now, the reason why this is a really special fragrance is because I wanted to buy James this as, unfortunately, last year his father passed away and his dad's name was Carlisle. That was his legal name. People called him something else, but his legal name was Carlisle. So I thought this would be a little bit of a sentimental gift for our wedding day to kind of have his dad there in spirit in some way, even if it is just the name of a fragrance, and also to have in our collection. I just think it's really special in itself. But also Carlisle smells really incredible. It's a beautiful, elegant / masculine fragrance. To me, it smells a little bit like spiced apple. This is such a beautiful and sexy men's fragrance, but also elegant. You can absolutely wear it for a wedding. You could wear it for black tie, all of those different types of occasions. And yeah, just thank you so much to Demi for reminding me of this one. And I feel like it was the perfect choice. I decided to give James this fragrance on the evening after our legal ceremony, just to give it to him before the wedding. I thought it would be a nice gift for him to open too. And then he had a little bit of time to digest it before our actual wedding day, which was 10 days later. But that was a little bit of the backstory behind why I decided to pick Carlisle. And James was extremely happy with this choice. I think it makes a really great wedding scent, but also, like I said, it's black tie. There's so many different occasions that you could wear this for, because it is just an incredible masculine fragrance, which I don't know why I've not had it in my collection sooner, or our collection sooner. But yeah, James wore Parfums de Marly Carlisle for our wedding day. So I hope you enjoyed hearing all about the fragrances that we picked for our wedding days. Please do let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I would love to hear what you think about our choices. But as always, what I always want to know are either what fragrances did you and your partner wear on your wedding day, or if you were to get married, let's say tomorrow, what fragrance would you pick for yourself and your partner? I would just love to hear it. I think it's such a lovely thing to decide what fragrance you would wear. So please do let me know down in the comments, because I will be reading all of the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure as always. I've absolutely loved sharing this list with you, and it was just such a special time in my life. I'm still on cloud 9 about the whole thing. If you do want to see a little bit more wedding content, I am posting pictures, etc. over on my Instagram page. The link is down in my bio, but please do give me a follow over on Instagram. If you just want to see some photos, my wedding video should come back soon too. But I hope to see you all in a future video to come. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.